My name is Tim. I run an organization called the Dark Data Project, and we are a group of technologists and data scientists that help humanitarian, scientific, and educational organizations tackle difficult data barriers. Although we work on a lot of scientific issues like tracking biodiversity, so the last talk was definitely interesting to me, we also work on social issues like homelessness and joblessness. Much of our work is done locally here in Canada, but we also work overseas, whether that's building economic sustainability or trying to mitigate conflict over land and water use. And I should also mention, much of our work is done pro bono for free. So I'm going to talk specifically about the Technosignature research portal, because as an amateur cosmologist, this is a project that's very close to my heart. So the portal aggregates research relating to the detection of serendipitous technosignatures. And what I mean by serendipitous is that these are indicators which aren't deliberate attempts at communication by ETIs, extraterrestrial civilizations. As anyone who's followed SETI for the past few decades knows, there's been a lot of effort put into searching for beacons in the radio and optical wavelengths, but the way that we think about searching for other intelligent life has broadened a fair bit, and there's a lot of enthusiasm now about looking for residual traces of technology, and it really does make sense to widen the search beyond attempts at deliberate open-ended communication, especially when you think about the economics of creating interstellar beacons. Here on Earth, we can barely scrape together the money to get a robotic orbiter to Enceladus. So imagine asking Congress for the money to build a powerful radio or laser lighthouse and running it 24/7 for decades, hoping that somebody sees it. So technosignatures obviously aren't the only game in town. There's also a lot of interest in biosignatures. The reason that I'm personally bullish on technosignatures is that there's a really broad range of things that we can look for. And right now, detecting biosignatures, I think, is really just at the limits of our current technology, although I'm sure that'll change soon. Anyways, at the end of the day, this isn't an either or. I think everybody agrees that we should be doing both. So why create a technosignature research portal? Well, if you're interested in technosignatures, as I am, a lot of the actual research happening these days can be a little bit tricky to access. So it's spread across a bunch of keywords on prepress servers, or it's locked behind paywalls of astronomical journals. Like most initiatives at the Dark Data Project, the portal is really an attempt to democratize access to information. And in this case, we do this by aggregating as much research as possible in one place. And we even try and pull in some good coverage from outside academic circles, like Paul Gilster's Centauri Dreams blog, just to give him a well-deserved shout out. I'm sure he has lots of readers who are listening now. Our secondary goal is to understand what type of technosignatures are being looked at the closest and how feasible they are from the perspective of detectability. Is it detecting waste heat from megastructures, or is it looking for autonomous probes and inscribed data devices closer to home? So although a lot of what we do is to locate research, we also put a fair bit of thought into classification and taxonomy. We have 4 broad categories of technosignatures that we track. We look at signs of industrialization, like artificial light and heat, interesting chemical compounds in the atmospheres of exoplanets. We look at interplanetary engineering, Dyson structures, geoengineering, the big stuff. We look at interstellar travel. How detectable are certain types of spacecraft? Are there probes we can detect in our solar system? And finally, communications. So not attempts to communicate necessarily with us, but existing communication networks out there between, say, home planets and colonies, or between adjacent technological civilizations. The taxonomy here has gone through a lot of evolution. It isn't locked in stone. We're always looking at new categories, better ways of thinking about the problem. I know I'm getting a little bit short on time here. I want to keep it within the 5 minutes. So I'm just going to wrap up by saying this is a volunteer-driven project. So if it's something that anyone is interested in helping out with, I'd encourage you to connect. I've put a bunch of contact methods up at the top upper right corner of the poster. So however you connect, it's going to get to my inbox. Oh, that's my 5-minute warning there. Okay, I'm going to keep going just very quickly. If speaking of other, if you're interested in other astronomical projects, again, we're always looking for new projects that we can tackle, new partners, new proposals. If you're looking to coordinate an observing program across various countries, maybe you need a way to connect everyone around very specific types of data. Again, that's a project we'd probably put in our A pile. So I'll leave it there because I know I've gone a few seconds over. So thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here and to present some of this material. I would love to talk more with anybody about any of this stuff. Now I'll close off there.
Great, thank you so much, Timothy. Thank you so much for your presentation. And I believe we have your contact information in case if anyone has any questions. It's all listed right here, which also this session is being recorded. So if many of you want to refer back to it, you have the opportunity to do so.